Hey guys, welcome to the channel, MJS Customs. So today I thought we'll stop by the shop and see what's going on, as I'm not sure what is going on yet. There is one thing I kind of want to do today to try tackling, because one thing I've noticed since I installed a gauge pod on my C6 Corvette is the steering wheel kind of gets in the way, and I've bent my fingers a couple of times and it's quite irritating. And some of you Corvette owners probably already noticed that too. If you get the 2 gauge pod, I don't find it was maybe, it might be a problem. Maybe, I don't know. Let's go take a look. I can't remember. All right, so let's see what we got going on here. Turn on the lights. Sorry, I had to deal with the alarm there. Oh, so we are debating on what, ooh. Yesterday was Friday, so I think we left early, as you can tell. Just kind of got the hell out of here. So anyway, here's the Vette. All right, so one thing about these pods is if you ever decide to go buy a pod, no matter where your steering wheel is, if you see how much gap you have, you can hear me hitting it when you're turning. So if you're doing some hood rat stuff and you turn the wheel really fast, you'll hit it. And I find even with your hand, with your steering wheel down low, kind of still sometimes if your hands out or if you're a smoker, you still hit it, kind of thing. So it's quite annoying that way. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna upgrade this steering wheel. So I think the first thing we're gonna do is disconnect the battery, because that is, we just don't want to take the chance of the airbag popping up and meeting us in the face here. The steering wheel shouldn't be too hard to take apart, so we're gonna somehow hopefully get the factory horn to work. So let's get this started, because I'm excited to see what the new steering wheel is gonna be. It should be a lot smaller, so it should give you a little bit more room. I didn't go with a deep dish, because one thing, when you go deep dish, your signal lights are way out, especially when you're going to add a quick release. It brings the steering wheel quite a bit out. Now this one does have the adjustable steering wheel, so that kind of helps, but it doesn't mean that these are going to be any closer or farther. They're just going to be the same. So I think that steering wheel that I have might be just perfect. It might be actually closer, but we're gonna find out. I have a feeling I might have to actually add a quick release. I didn't think of that until now. So, oh boy. Let's see, let's go take a look at the wheel. All right, so here we are. So my Corvette being a 2005 C6, part number for these ones are gonna be your SRK 177H. This is your normal hub for the actual C6 Corvette. Now, if you actually look in the box of these, they sometimes will have a piece of paper that will tell you what this hub also fits for, as this one should have it. So this hub is good between 2006 and 2014 Corvette C6. Now mine's a 05, it should still fit, even though it only says 06 to 14. It also works for the 2005 to 2010 Chevy Cobalt, the 2003 to 07 Cadillac STS, or the 06 to 14 Chevy Silverado. So I can actually put this in my my chart too if I wanted to. All right, so now we got that down. Let's go over the steering wheel quick. So this steering wheel, real leather. The part number on this Energy one is 202926. This one's a little bit more pricier than your typical one, or the most of them on there for some odd reason. I wanted to kind of have this one because the room for the legs, has nice grips for the hands, and it has the mark to tell you when your wheel's straight. Now a lot of people with drift cars, they have this. It kind of helps them oddly when you're drifting, because when your wheel's spinning, well, you go cross-sided pretty much and you don't know which way straight, so it kind of just has a little bit of a marker to let you know where you're at. So We're gonna get ready to put this in now. So anyway, let's go get that steering wheel off and get this prepped and ready. This is a really light steering wheel, but it's really solid. So I'm really happy with that. It's a solid steering wheel. I've been wanting this one for a while, and so I decided to go ahead with it. So let's go tackle that other steering wheel right now. Okay, so first things first, we are going to remove the negative terminal completely right off. Oh, I didn't think of that. Okay, let's put that back on and open the door first, because this is electric door handles on this one, on all the Corvettes I should say. Okay, so we'll leave that open and we'll go ahead and now disconnect this, just so we have no worries about the airbag going off. Okay, so first thing we're going to need to remove this steering wheel. As you guys can see, there's a couple things here and there. So let's see, I'll go grab some tools. All right, so this one is kind of a little bit of annoying on this car because of this style of steering wheel. So we're gonna use the Allen key. That's kind of a flat surface, because it's not just one hole. If I remember correctly, there's about 4 holes on this that you need to pop it out. It's not like the newer style where it's a lot easier, where it's usually, no, my door has locked. All right, so we are gonna put this one in this hole. We're gonna see where the sweet spot is. Okay, let's try the top one. Where's the top one? Up here. All right. Okay, that's the sweet spot for that one. So after you're done playing with that, remove your horn button. You got 2 airbags here that you have to be careful with removing. You got a ground here, or you can just do the unplug awesomeness and go from there. So we're just gonna keep tinkering around with this and see how this goes. So with these plugs, you have to pull this tab up and then it'll come out, because these are kind of the locks for it. So that is now removed. And what else we need here? We need to disconnect this guy. This guy should be something as simple as just pulling the tab and pulling at it. Okay, let's see what kind of style this one is. You gotta pull upwards, can't push downwards on this one. Okay. So, hard to do it with one hand. Give me 1 minute here, guys. Okay, so once that's all done, this will stay with the steering wheel. So that's your horn system there. These are your airbags that goes to the clock spring behind it. We're not doing anything with the clock spring, so just leave it. So another thing is, make sure your steering wheel is straight. And this is what I usually do, is once I remove the wheel, I'm gonna mark this so I know. Because when people put new steering wheels on, they're never straight. So I'm gonna show you what I do when it comes to that. Alright, so what I usually do is I do a marker. You make sure your steering wheel is straight, you make sure your wheels are straight. And usually what I'll do is I'll do just a yellow line to say, hey, this is the top. And I'll also kind of mark the bolt itself too. Alright, so now we're ready to move the steering wheel. So we're gonna get that ready right now, get the impact. So the reason why I like to use an impact on this is because, I mean, you can do it with a normal ratchet, but just make sure you hold that steering wheel straight. So maybe put your legs under the steering wheel, hold it while you're undoing it, just make sure you keep it straight. I'm not saying it's gonna move too much, but just you wanna keep it as straight as possible, because it is really annoying when your wheel is off when you're driving. So you might have to take it off and readjust it a couple times, but as long as you keep it where the original one is, you'll be fine. So now we'll see if we can weasel that off. See, didn't need a puller. Got that off now. All right, look at that. Look at that there, boys and girls. Got that all right on, right on, right on. All right, so this is one thing I also want to bring up with you guys, and please do not do this. This is a big no-no. So there's probably guys on YouTube cutting your airbags off your clock spring. Do not do that. So if you actually look at the 177 hub, you see that nice inside cover. You can literally wrap these around inside and they will hide inside here, and they will move with the wheel and the clock spring. You won't make them tighter, you won't make them looser, they move with the wheel. So please do not cut those. That's a big no-no. So let's get this on and see where we're at. So I've also just noticed another problem. So when this hub goes in, it pushes against that factory sleeve where the steering wheel would go, the old steering wheel would kind of go over. So what we're gonna have to do is probably trim this up. Yep. Probably get this trimmed up, and so that way we can put that on. So there's more that you have to do. Now I'm not sure if you have to do that with the other style, like 2006 and newer Corvette, because the 2005 was a really weird year. It was a funny year. So like, even if you blow the rear end out of this car, you're gonna have to upgrade to like the Z06 and switch everything all over, because this was just a really one-off year car. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go get something to cut this with, and because you want to cut that, you don't want to hear every time you turn your wheel. So, oh, and another thing is, I want to show you guys this. You guys can see that little dot at the top here, right where the bolt, that is your top dead center, where we marked it. Okay, it's gonna cover it, but don't worry, I also marked it on this piece here too. So once you put it on, you get it as close as you can, and then you want to line up that yellow with the white mark there. So these are just little pointers that will help you out with your little journey doing this, because yeah, you don't want to really mess that up. So anyway, we're gonna get ready to get this thing a little chop. Let's chop it up a little bit. All right guys, so the resistors do come in the kit. They just look like fuses, but they're like 2 ohms, and I'm just putting this one in right now. I like to use tape so it doesn't ground out on the actual steering wheel itself, so it's always just safe to make sure that you have those protected. I also tape the top half too to the wire, just less wiring movement everywhere, so just gonna tape those up. Now your airbag light should be off with these. You can also buy these off Amazon if you bought a wiring kit that didn't come with it, but you definitely want these if you don't want to have that annoying light on your dash. What's that? Nope, I'm done with that. So we got the resistors in now. So what we can do is get those kind of hidden in there like that perfectly. So another problem that I kind of bumped into is I'm going to need a spacer with longer bolts, or I'm going to need a actual hub remover, because I didn't go with the deep dish steering wheel. My steering wheel is really close to the signal light and windshield wiper unit there, so we're gonna have to stop probably by the house and steal it off a different car. I got one sitting there, and I got some time to run into Calgary right now. It's kind of a short day, so we'll see what happens here. If I can make it into Calgary, we'll go grab it in Calgary, but let's get this stuff set up and ready. So like I said, you don't have to cut anything, just see how much room is in here, because this is what you're going to be putting everything in. So okay, like that. Give it a quick little zit. Now there is torque specs on this stuff, guys, so don't go crazy with it, but make sure you follow the torque specs. I've done this so many times, I know that gun very well. So Okay, everything's moving nice and freely. So what we're gonna do quickly is we're gonna give the car a start up to see if the airbag light is on, if it's off, before we continue going any further. So usually when I do this test, I will sit right in the car, because if you're sitting in the door jamb and you go to start your car and the airbag goes off, you're gonna get hit by the airbag that's in the seat. So just better safe than sorry. So let's see. That's a good sign. So now we can move on and get everything else ready. So right now, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go see if we can find a quick release. Worst comes to worst, if we can't find one, we're just going to steal one out of my other car in the meantime, just because being in a small town, Strathmore here, even though Calgary's only half an hour away, we got so many people coming in today because I guess Sarah has somebody come and look at her truck. So we're gonna put this on the back burner for now, and we'll see how this day goes. All right, guys, so I made my decision. Instead of going to steal the actual other quick release on my other car, I decided that I'm just gonna head into Calgary and pick up a new one, because I have a problem where I don't like taking parts off of my other cars, and plus I like to put brand new fancy stuff onto the Corvette anyway. So we're gonna go take a look and see what they got. So another thing is, when you're doing an aftermarket steering wheel, and this is gonna happen a lot with a lot of people's cars out there, and it all depends on the design of the actual hub adapter, is when you just buy just the hub and the wheel, the problem with some of these kits is when you try putting your horn button into the wheel, what happens is the back of the button hits the bolt that holds your hub on. So you have to buy a quick release, or the other option is if you don't want it to stick out more than what it is, if you have a deep dish steering wheel, is you're gonna have to go buy a spacer that goes between your steering wheel and your actual quick release, and this is a common issue. So this is one thing I should have brought up right away, but I'm telling you now. So this is one of the reasons why I went with a quick release. Also kind of gives me the freedom to take it off whenever, put it on whenever, kind of thing. So I've just kind of decided to go that route. So there is going to be a part 2. We're going to make a video when we head out of Calgary, and yeah, I'm excited. We're going to finish this up on a part 2 series. We also have a new project car, and I'm kind of excited to show you guys. So just stay tuned, and thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, comment if you want some more information on stuff. I'm here to help, guys. So thanks for watching. See you around.